Welcome to Trojan TV Extra, a special edition of Trojan TV without announcements and lots of great news and feature stories. This week's theme is People and Places. Enjoy.
Recently, select 8th grade EMS students had the opportunity to participate in the annual Washington, D.C. trip.
Well, we went to a lot of monuments and a lot of museums, and I think the museums were my favorite because it was more interactive than all the monuments.
While on the trip, participants had the opportunity to visit the city's most famous sites.
My favorite would have to be the Holocaust because it was like the most effective museum that I thought was like really emotional.
2017 DC tripgoers encourage present 7th graders to participate next year.
It's a really fun opportunity. It's an opportunity you might not ever have again in your life. On the trip you're with a tour guide and he tells you a lot more than what you would learn if you just went there with your family.
8th grade students got an in-person view of attractions they thought they'd only see in their history books.
I think, especially the 8th graders who are studying American history, I think they really loved it. I think they'd like to see the original documents that they've been talking about all this time. They'd like to see the memorials to the people they've been talking about all this time. I think it really impacted them.
This has been Olivia and Joey reporting for Trojan TV.
The Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers was created to recognize all the soldiers who died in war, specifically those unknown.
My favorite part was just to see how they show the respect for all the unknown soldiers who weren't identified in combat.
More than 4 million people visit the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers annually, including the EMS 8th grade students.
We visited where a bunch of soldiers died and were buried, and then we got to see this like live action thing where the soldiers swapped out and they put like wreaths up for different classes and different classes would come. So there's one soldier and he walked back and forth this certain spot and then another soldier came and swapped out with them, but every single time that they would turn they'd like click their heels and then so everyone came and then they swapped out with each other and then they would like exit.
It was very powerful to see how they show the respect for the unknown soldiers who weren't identified in wars that we've had.
This has been Audrey and Abby reporting for Trojan TV.
Those views, you could hold them, but you couldn't speak about them publicly.
Many students this year participated in a National History Day competition. We caught up with Matt, who advanced to nationals.
NHD is a history-themed opportunity for kids in middle schools, high schools, and elementary schools to create a project themed around something that happened in history and present it in their school, and they have the opportunity to move on to a regional competition and from there a state and national competition. I made a documentary about William Lloyd Garrison. I showed it to the school judges. They liked it, so I moved on to regionals, and from there I was surprised that I moved on to states. And an even bigger surprise, I moved on to nationals, it blew me away.
We've only had one other student ever in the history of East Middle School make it to the national level of the History Day competition, so I was just thrilled for him. All the kids who made it to states had put in an extraordinary amount of work into the project.
Matt's documentary featured in-depth information and tells a good story about William Lloyd Garrison.
Matt's documentary has a lot of depth and critical thinking that's exhibited in it. He really takes a look at how Garrison impacted our country with regard to race relations. He also included an incredible primary source interview with a local professor who his specialty is African American studies.
For people doing this next year, really take your time on this. Take it slow, don't rush through it. And do not procrastinate because this is a big opportunity.
Matt heads to Washington, D.C. on June 11th for nationals.
18th century.
This has been Bella and
to
Chloe
serve as an example for individuals wishing to express one's conscience.
East Middle School students got a chance to go to NMC to learn about construction and trade.
Taking students on this trip gives them a good opportunity to see some of the classes, some of the different professions, some of the opportunities they have locally to pursue.
What we're doing today is we're having a Building Tomorrow program, bringing recognition to the building trades for all these wonderful students that are coming in today. We're showing our carpentry labs here at NMC, as well as our electrical lab, excavation and earth moving, welding, and our HVAC as well.
I thought it'd be interesting, and my brother is an electrical engineer, so I wanted to see what it was like for him.
NMC created this day to promote the trades due to a decline in people filling jobs.
Well, right now the demand for new people learning how to do any of the construction trades is really high. The workforce is getting really old, and quite frankly we just need new young people to get interested in the construction trades and learn how to keep, basically how to keep our country infrastructure intact. What I'm hoping students learn from this trip is the fact that there is a lot of opportunities, and there's really good professions and good money to be made in the trades. There hasn't been a whole lot of emphasis put on it, you know, in recent years. You know, and some of my most successful friends that I know went into the trades based on programs like this that they got in high school and don't even have a college degree.
This has been Caden Zach reporting for Trojan TV.
Brianna Ormsby wakes up every day with a challenge of figuring out the world around her.
Brianna is one of 48 million in the U.S. who experience hearing loss, and although it can be frustrating, she says she is thankful for the aid.
I was kind of glad because I could, I needed it so I could hear more, and that I don't have to keep saying, what was that? I didn't know I had hearing loss ever since my 3rd grade. So I had it for 4 years so far, and it's really easy for right now. It takes really it's easy for me now. But when I first got it, it's kind of hard.
Mrs. Leisure says that there are quite a few things that she can do to help Brianna in class.
Brianna has a hearing aid, and to help her, she can hear out of her left ear, but her right ear, if she doesn't have her hearing aid and she's unable to hear. So we place her close to the front and always make sure her left ear is to the side that I am speaking.
Brianna says that she struggles to hear in situations with overwhelming sound.
I had to hear different things, and that sometimes when I listen to the band, sometimes it hurts my ears, so I had to take it out so it doesn't hurt.
Mrs. Leisure says that even though Brianna is different, she is still just as capable as everyone else.
She does pretty much all the same activities as all the other students. The hearing aid is just to help her learn, just like a lot of us wear glasses to help see. Some of us, you know, if you break a leg, you have a cast, you still go on. She's able to do the same work as everybody else. She just has to be placed in a position in the room where she can hear.
This has been Ari and Max reporting for Trojan TV.
Why do you build me up, buttercup baby, just to let me down, mess me around?
For this week's student profile, we learned more about Sky Martin and her middle school talent show performances.
I've been performing for 11 or 12 years now. I started dancing when I was 2, and I just started musical theater a few years ago. My grandma owns a dance studio, and my dad was a dancer as well, and my mom is a singer. We all kind of connect musically.
You know that I have from the start, so build me up.
Each time I've done something different, which I thought was really fun. The first year I danced, the second year I sang, and then the third I sang and I played an instrument as well. And so it was just a lot of fun to get to show some of my friends and stuff what I like to do. I think I'm a lot more confident and open just in general, but also on stage it helps a lot with meeting new people.
Choir teacher Mrs. Zabel has noticed a growth in Sky's confidence in her 3 years of taking choir.
Confidence
has made a difference over time, but I also think that her ability to hold a part and be a section leader to help the people around her stay on track pitch-wise has just really come along beautifully. Sky gives. I guess that's the best way for me to say it. She adds energy and life and spirit. She helps people who are struggling. She encourages. She sings beautifully and works hard.
Sky and her friend Tatiana like to challenge themselves while singing.
Our voices are pretty alike, so we usually sing in the same general area, and we like to kind of listen to each other singing, and it makes us better singers. Usually when she notices that I'm messing up or I notice that she needs some help, we kind of help each other to really understand the part that we're singing. I think it took a lot of creativity for her to especially come up with that mashup on her own instead of just looking it up on YouTube and learning the part. And I think that she did an amazing job putting it together.
This has been Maggie and Kaylin reporting for Trojan TV.
Many people couldn't imagine having a family member with cancer. However, 8th grader Mariah Russell can, as her younger sister battled it.
I shaved my head in support of those who are fighting cancer, have lost the battle, or have won it, because personally I've had an experience with that. My sister had it when she was younger, and several people in my family have had it.
One way Mariah helps spread awareness is by shaving her hair and donating it to Wigs for Kids.
I think it just proves a point to people, like the people who are unfortunate to have cancer, they don't have the choice whether they're going to lose their hair or not. And that, I know, takes away a lot of pride from people, where we complain about the small things.
Mariah was nervous at first, but excited to help in any way she could.
Towards the actual day, I was really excited, and I knew it was the right thing to do. I mean, it feels good, just knowing that a lot of people appreciate it. I'm sure whoever gets the wig is going to appreciate it even more. I actually have got a lot of positive feedback from just the school community and my family, so it's definitely what I expected.
This has been Avery and Caroline reporting for Trojan TV.
This story was brought to you by 522 Pub and Grill, locally owned and operated in Manistee.
Here's to the ones who dream.
Ashley Irvin is a choir student at East who has amazing talents with singing.
Ever since I moved up to Michigan, singing has just been a really big part of my life. I just enjoy it. I love singing because it's fun and because it can connect with a whole bunch of other people, but also because it helps me get out my emotions in a way that's different than most people.
Ashley is well known around the school due to her singing abilities.
Ashley is an amazing student. She's really focused, she's really enthusiastic, but she's also a very knowledgeable and skilled musician. She reads music really well, she retains parts really well, and I think what I love the most is she loves those same moments that I do when a group sings really well and they can feel that they're connected, and it's a magical feeling.
There's this moment that Missy Bell describes when we're all singing at the same time and we're all thinking the same thing, and we just know how the music is supposed to go, and we just all kind of connect, and it's a really powerful moment.
This has been Chloe and Marilyn reporting for Trojan TV.
Thank you for watching this week's Trojan TV Extra. You can follow DMC and Trojan TV on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter by searching at East DMC. Don't forget to tune in every day this week for a Trojan TV Extra and a regular Trojan TV on Friday.
This program was powered by Haggerty, feeling passion for cars by giving young people cool car experiences.